Thokozani. Today, I answer a lot of the questions you've been asking me, and you get to learn a lot about who I am. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating a spiritual milestone. I am currently turning 10 years old at the end of June 2018. In terms of being a sangoma and having heeded my calling. So please, do stay, learn about me, and let me also answer the questions that I've been getting at the Gokos to answer. So, it's my turn. Thokozani.
Tina sivela kude, sivela kude, sivela, tina sivela kude.
What is the most funniest story I have of Bungoma? I think to me, the funniest ones are always when someone is like so hesitant or so in denial about the fact that they have to heed their calling, especially when they feel like they're going to be like great successes in the world, but they want to run ahead of the process. And countless times they're always reminded and shown via their dreams or certain events in their lives that remind them that no, come back. First start with being taught by Idlozi first, and then they will allow you to be free into your world. So as much as it may seem like a difficult thing that someone goes through, for a person who's on the other side now of the training, it actually becomes funny because in human nature we always want to be resistant, and the question is why are we being so resistant? Yes, the stuff that we don't know, that we're not familiar with, but us being resistant is not going to make us any closer to us achieving our goals or anything. So that to me is really, really funny. Only after, not during, while it happens to people. But it's great to see that Idlozi is able to validate itself all the time and in very specific and important and significant times for a person to realize that always, always, always start Idlozi qala. Start with your ancestors first. Then anything that you ever attempt to do afterwards will be a breeze. I think my hardest time dealing with Idlozi in my life, I think there are two times. The first time was trying to identify what it is that was required of me. Yes, I got these dreams. I started going to my healer, who then started helping me with my training. But as a child or as a person going into Aseni and to go train, you don't particularly know what you're there for. I've mentioned 3 ways that one can practice. So then, which one are you there for? Are you there for all of them, or 2 of them, or only one of them? Which one is the one that actually brought you out of your home to actually come start this training? And that was a very difficult thing for me, trying to identify what I was actually being told or directed to do in terms of Idlozi, because it's, to them, I think maybe they think it's simple in how they communicate, but then when the communication comes back to us, it's like, I don't get it. What are you saying? I see the water, I see the snakes, but what does it all mean? You know, that was a difficult time, and maybe that's why I'm doing all these videos, so that I can bridge the gap between what you receive and your level of understanding. The second hardest time was when I had trained, came back home, and I started practicing. I worked at home for a full year doing full-time practicing ubungoma. Then I asked to go back to school to go study something different. Then I had taught myself how to be a web developer and made my own website where I felt the need to go share and communicate about stories of ubungoma and some of the struggles I was going through as a child who grew up in suburbia and was very, very new to traditional healing. And after that, I went back to school and I managed to get 2 certifications under my belt, which was programming and being able to be an IT specialist. And that helped me quite a lot in terms of letting the girl in me, like the refilo in me, to be able to also heed her own desires and to follow through on my own dreams, because I had then done what was expected of me. Then now I could start asking for things I wanted. So yes, that was granted. Great stuff. Now I'm a graduate. Now I'm great. As much as they cut off my training while I was in tertiary, they let me go back a few years later to complete. studying was so much easier this time around. I was an A student in everything I did. I got an internship. Look, life was really good, but the difficult part came when I had to date, because I am surrounded, and largely in my pack of ancestry, largely I'm male. So when you're a female and you're led by males, they overpower and take over. They even give you an aura and the stature of a man when you enter into rooms where you could be as attractive as you want to be. But when you walk into the room, all the guys will you'll get their attention, and they'll turn around with you, but not even a word of hello will come out of their lips. And this happened to me for like a good 5 years, and that was a difficult thing for me, because as much as, yes, I've heeded my calling, and I'm practicing, and I'm not leaving anything behind in terms of my responsibilities, but it was a lonely journey to be on, because a lot of the people did not understand what's a gifted child, how to support them, how to love them, what kind of things is going to be different about them versus a regular girl, and that was a difficult time for me. Not being able to find a partner and be able to share some of my experiences with, but that came to an end. So, as you grow older in your work, you experiment more and you learn more in terms of how to deal with situations. I remember this really one time, this crazy time when I went to go do a home cleansing. So I've checked everything, what kind of medicine or herbs I'm supposed to take, what I'm going to be dealing with when I get to where I'm going. And then I get fetched by my clients, and I live in Benoni, and they took me all the way to Northwest, and that was like a long, hectic drive. So we drove all the way there, and I got there. I started cleansing the space, introducing myself, everything. Like, I handled it like how I usually do in terms of taking care of people's properties and cleansing them. And then I left that evening, and then they brought me back home. And I was a big advocate of cleansings after doing any type of ceremony, because I don't want to be left with dark energies. But that day, I was so tired from that drive. I just came home and I slept. And I woke up in the morning. Literally, guys, this is like, you see, unbelievable. I woke up in the morning and my face on my left was drooping. Like this. It was drooping. Almost like I had a stroke on one side of my face. And I didn't know what was happening, and I looked in the mirror after taking a bath while trying to moisturize my face, and I'm like, what's this? I call my mom, I'm freaking out, and I'm like, oh snap. I got home, I was so tired, I did not cleanse myself. And in essence, whatever I went to go take out of that person's home, I brought back with me, and I didn't cleanse so that I could take care of myself. And it came with a number of lessons, and those lessons, yes, some of you guys will learn as you go along. But firstly, I was supposed to recheck where I was going and what kind of darkness I was going to deal with, what I was going to extract from that home. I was supposed to cleanse when I came back, and I was supposed to also be able to like, even the people that went to accompany me, I was supposed to administer the same kind of help for them. And that's in essence what happened to me. I've since learned, I was a lot younger then, but it's some things that you have to go along the way learning, because you're not always going to be MacGyver in the space and like, we took our dark stuff from that guy's home, now they're sleeping soundly. No, there's a lot of trial and error, and I'm glad that I was able to overcome it, because especially at the time, my relationship with Makobela had already deteriorated, because ever since she brought me home, I'd never seen her since then, because I never had the best of dreams about her. So it was one of those, it's okay, I can let the chapter pass, I got what I was supposed to get, and now I'm supposed to be my own teacher. So I've had to find several amounts of teachers along the way who could be my mentors and guide me along the path. But when this unbelievable story happened, I was all alone, and thank goodness I was allowed to take the lesson without getting a harsher punishment. How do you keep yourself spiritually fit? Okay. First things first, I am a marathon runner, so I love running the road. So physically, I like taking care of my body. That's first things first. It helps a lot with releasing any stressful energies or anything that just doesn't vibe with you. You get your chance to let go think about your day, de-stress. And I'm a very big water lover, so I do a lot of pool therapy where I sit underwater for certain amounts of time and I meditate in water, and I play around like a fish in water, because I've got a water-based ancestor in me, and as a child I've always been a water loving kid. So water to me is something that I feel cleanses my spirit at any given time. I randomly give myself cleansers with imiti, with iwasho from both prophecy and ubungoma, to cater for the different people that I am with on my person. I also do quite a bit of meditation, a lot of prayer. I put away some time in my day where I actually do go speak to my guides, because it's something that's very, very important in terms of finding out what it is that you're missing, maybe, or how to always be light in terms of energy and not be heavy, and be able to be a quick receptor to when there's changes and there's shifts around you in terms of energy. What is the one thing I wish people knew about Badimu, ancestors, or Ubungoma? I wish people understood that literally your life will stop. Your life will be in shambles. Your life will be unfamiliar to you. You will be unfamiliar to you. What you must always do is pay your respects to the people that came before you. Acknowledge the family members that existed in your families. Be mindful of your traits, your characteristics. Try and see whom within the family you got them from, because it will help you in terms of the resistance that you might have towards the changes that you're currently naturally being drawn to, versus something that you would choose for yourself. Also understand that being a gifted child does not mean that you are cursed in any way. If anything, is the biggest and the best and the baddest thing that could ever happen to you, because it levels up in terms of what kind of person you are. You're not just a person in the world, but you're a person with a capability or capabilities. And be respectful to even the people that are in the world with you now, that can still be able to help decipher your dreams, answer your questions in terms of your family history, and to teach you more in terms of how it is that they were raised, and how differently maybe that you can change or enlighten or level up or make better in terms of you as an adult now raising children. And please listen to your elders in terms of what they know. You may also think that you know what you know, but you ask information from people that have walked it, from those that have traveled it before you. So don't be a know-it-all. Be a person that's open-minded. Ask all the questions. Ask out of respect and not out of ridicule. And be an open-minded person in terms of also how things are going to change in your life and how communication is going to come to you. If there's anyone who's ever supposed to be admitted into a psych ward, it's supposed to be myself, because I've experienced everything and anything under the sun in terms of feeling unstable in my mind, but every single time has always been validated by an action or an event in my life that will show that I was speaking towards something when I had whatever episode or when I share whatever piece of information. So please trust the process you're in. Trust Idlo's Lako. Trust that they're not going to make a mockery out of you, and always, always, always ask for counsel from them before you action or you do anything, because you always need validation from them, and to always send communication back from the people who sent you out in the first place. Ubungoma is a mindset, it's something that is not mostly or largely very popular in terms of conversations and people wanting to figure out the details around it, but in that case, when you do delve into it, change your mindset and be open to being taught things, and almost having to unlearn what you've learned to learn and make space for new things. And it's okay to not always agree with everything. It's allowed. Just don't be disrespectful with it, and it's okay to ask questions. And Ubungoma will reveal a lot of things that a lot of people in the world currently that can answer you and give you truth. Will give you more truth than people that are here in the world. It's very enlightening, and it will change your life for the better if you know what to do with it and don't feel victimized by it. And anytime someone who uses ubungoma in the form of darkness and not for the betterment of other people, they should know that every single day, every single bit, every single time, they lose more and more and more of their capabilities, because they are turning something that's supposed to be beautiful and enriching in people's lives to something that's dark and a hindrance and a bad thing towards other people. Thank you for tuning in, and that has been a Q&A session with myself, with questions posed by yourselves through comments and through emails. And thank you so much for tuning in and for wanting to learn about me, and also being here to celebrate me and the time that I've had in my journey. Until next time, Togazan.